Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Unranked podcast. It is a Christmas episode. Chris is not here, but you do have these lovely gents. We've got Dan Weine
Hey,
and Tuna.
Who died and made you like de facto host? If Chris
You want to
isn't
do
here?
it? You want to do
No,
it?
no. I'm just saying, like you just kind of did it.
I mean,
without...
we've definitely had several discussions about various roles. I think I remember you saying you would never do any work beyond just showing up. I believe I've heard that from you on several occasions. Where you're like, I just want to be clear. Yeah, because we've had discussions about like, well, you know, like we've tried to
I put together that whole Taskmaster episode.
Oh, you did that for you. You did that for you.
Yes.
What do you mean I did it for me?
You did it for you.
What do you mean I did it for me?
That was a for you thing. You didn't do that for the listeners. You did that for yourself.
What are you talking about? I do it for the listeners. Unbelievable.
Anyway, well, we've had several conversations. Chris is here. Chris is in the chat. Taskmaster was amazing. Give him props. I mean, it was amazing. I cannot wait for us to do it again.
Wait a second. The listeners must be wondering if Chris is in the chat.
Yeah,
why is he not
here?
on the show?
I forget what his reason was. I don't think
we want to make up. I think we can just make up reasons because he's not here.
He got pneumonia again. He got pneumonia again.
No.
He's had that for a while.
He is in prison.
He warned us a week ago he was going to be in prison.
It's one of those. It's one of those. You got to show up. You have a certain date and time that you have to show up.
I mean, look, Andrew Tate's tweeting from prison, so I don't. Yeah. You know, like Chris can watch a live stream.
Chris is in prison, so we won't divulge what he did.
But he knows what he did.
Yeah.
He messaged from his cell. You will find out next week. So there we go. That's exciting. Before we get into the podcast shenanigans, the Pokemon and all that, just a reminder for everyone, if you do want to be a part of the live show, you can join our Discord subscriptions. It gets you the live show, the post show. It gets you any bonus stuff that we do. We do some games, playing some Halo Forge with our subscribers as well. So go check out the Discord. The majority of it is free, but there is that one section for our subscribers that has all those goodies in there. So go check that out in the show notes, and go check out the video version of the podcast. That is free to everyone. It's up on YouTube around the same time that the audio goes out on Friday. If you're listening now, go check out the video. All right, lads. Pokemon 362. This is one of the evolutions from last week's Pokemon Snorunt. It is Glalie.
So it's a glacier. Lily.
Okay. A glacier.
So it looks like a lily pad, but it has a lily pad hat, but it's actually ice.
Oh,
I think it's gonna be like obviously glacier because we got the snow last week. So glacier with like a shitty little space.
You're
between
both
two
on the
buildings.
bullseye with
like
glacier.
That's the alley part, like Glacier Alley. It's like
Glacier Alley
between two buildings. Yeah.
So it may be actually, do you want to look at it here before, because Tuna, you're with us, so you want to give us the name origin?
Glacier Lily. What's it called?
So Christian is saying it's Glalie, like gray.
Okay, so yes, I know this Pokemon because it was in Pokemon Legends
like a mouth breather
Arceus.
A mouth breather Pokemon. That's because it's got no lips, Dan.
Yeah, it looks like it's just
it's got no choice.
It looks like it's like a blob with a skull around. I don't know. Very weird Pokemon, but I've seen it in Arceus. The name origin may be a combination of Glacier and Goalie.
Is this thing Canadian? Because it's got that South Park Canadian flappy head going too.
Well, it could be a goalie.
So well, that's the interesting thing is like, goalie, it kind of looks like a soccer ball, right? Because it's got the white and black pattern.
I mean, it could look like anything.
But now,
stupid ball.
But now, you bring up the Canadian thing with the Mega Evolution, which again, fantastic Mega Evolution, I think.
You think that's fantastic?
I mean, I think I
don't know. It's a little weird.
He's got the beard. I like it.
But like his mouth
like opens,
beyond... but like it looks way bigger on the bottom than on the top.
It's kind of TARDIS. He has TARDIS mouth.
His TARDIS mouth.
It's like I don't
know, man.
I don't know. I guess, yeah.
And the beard looks like a tire, but like a bumpy tire.
Yeah, he looks like a snow-covered spiked tire.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
So interesting here. It says Glalie appears to be based on human features like those of a cold, distant person or facial expression.
Someone just is internalizing.
Reading it. Yeah, this is Pokemon is very depressed and needs to go see a therapist. It also looks somewhat similar to an ice hockey mask. So there you go. So maybe the Canadian thing. Maybe it's
just a hockey goalie / mound of
like
nothingness.
Due to its horns and teeth, it may be based on an Oni, which is a Japanese demon for all intents and purposes. It may also be based on onigiri, a rice ball, as its Japan name suggests. It also resembles a hailstone. So there's a lot going on here.
A lot to unpack.
I go from one moment liking it and one moment not, I feel. Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay. Okay.
It's like a balloon.
You're a balloon.
I mean, there's
like one of the fancy balloons.
A lot of like balloon Pokemon now,
It's true. Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's
all right. So there's that.
I think that's Glalie. Yep. Yeah. I can't believe we're like still, even knowing like how many just bullshit Pokemon we've got. We're like we're still committed to the bit. I mean, we have to now. Yeah. And I'm curious if I bring up, maybe, I don't know if you guys have a game prepared, but maybe the game today will be, let's bring up Pokemon that we've done before and see if these guys can remember what they are at all.
It's like a 0% chance. I've missed so many at this point.
I thought you were gonna say, let's try to guess what Pokemon will be the last Pokemon we will ever feature on this show.
Oh, I mean, I like that as well. We'll see. We'll play around with it.
Who gets closest to that? I mean, it's basically just you're trying to guess when this show ends.
Yeah.
But sad times. Maybe we shouldn't do it.
We shouldn't jinx it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how have you guys been? How has your week's been?
Great.
Good to see you guys on Saturday.
Yeah. Had a great time. The ball pit, the doggy ball pit was a hit. It was quite the hoot.
It was a hit, and I tell you what, it's been a fucking headache since the party. With the
you can't keep that out after the party. That's gonna be a special occasions thing.
And I try to hide it. He knew it was in the closet. He would constantly like dig at the door. We threw out many of the balls because most of them had just been like punctured. They were just like flat plastic discs. So we've taken the ball pit and it is out. And he like goes and like drops his ball in it, but like sometimes he like knocks it over and all the balls spill. So yeah, I don't know what the plan is with that. But yes, how were your weekends?
Fine. Yeah. Uneventful. Yeah, nothing doing really. The kid's the kid. So yeah.
The kid's the kid.
Kid's the kid. And I don't know. The only other thing is that I sent you guys a picture of a pizza that I had made.
That was today. That was
earlier today.
2 hours ago.
I purchased
love that.
I purchased a
pizza
not
oven.
A pizza stone. I purchased a baking steel. So instead of it works just like the stone, except it's better. The heat gets absorbed way faster.
Interesting.
It gets way hotter, and it's not at risk of cracking at all, ever. There's a fucking lifetime warranty on this thing, so I'll take it. The thing cooks the pizza in like 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
You're putting it under the pizza before you put it into the...
It's in the oven.
Okay.
This baking steel is like 15 inches by 20 inches. Thing goes in the oven.
So it replaces a rack.
It goes on top of the rack.
Okay. It's sitting on a rack.
Sitting on a rack. You preheat the oven 500. That steel gets up to like $1,000. And then...
How do you know, though? Did you try feeling it?
No.
Yeah, look at his hand.
Gun thermometer.
Gun thermometer?
Gun thermometer?
Yeah.
You mean like you would use on a person's forehead?
Yeah, but like
that goes up to 1,000?
This kinds of not a person's thermometer, but
can you imagine? Holy fuck!
Anyway, so put the pizza. I mean, it's a game changer. The dough cooks perfectly.
The pizza steel.
How did it come out? It looked pretty good, but how did it taste?
It tasted real good.
Fucking great. I'll tell you this. It looked really good.
Yeah. So that's really it. That's really it over here. Nothing really else has been going on. Work, the usual, but
look at the cheese. The browning on the cheese is perfect. Crust is the right color.
How did the dough come out? Was it like thickish? Was it thin?
No, it was thin.
Kind of okay.
It was thin. All right. It was thin.
You couldn't tell really from looking at it.
No, I know. But it was thin. It was thin. It was good. It was all around. Brittany was like very impressed. So nothing really else doing. I'm sorry to report.
It's good.
Don't really have anything to report. And video game wise, sometimes Dan and I will play Fall Guys. Like
for like an hour.
Okay.
Infrequently, like maybe an hour, but that's about it, man. I don't really have anything else. Am I playing anything else? What game
we're gonna talk about Hi-Fi Rush in a bit. We'll talk.
We'll talk about that. But before, was there anything?
Did you boot up? Did you pick up Metroid?
It looks like you're asking someone in the room with you.
He's looking around for reminders.
I am looking for reminders. I'm looking.
He's hoping
for,
if he looks at the Xbox, it'll.
I am. I'm looking over at the Xbox, being like, okay, think Xbox. What did you play? Got nothing.
Oh, we played Stranded Deep a little bit.
Oh my god! Wait, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's hear
we talked about it a little bit. I'll
tell you this: I booted it up. I booted it up on Game Pass PC just to check it out because I was like kind of itching for a survival game, and I mean, I'm curious to hear your thoughts. But I liked like the hour of it I played. I thought it was
okay.
We tried playing it for a little longer than that, and it got.
Hold on, let's set the scene. Let's set the scene.
Sure.
Okay. What's the game about for people that don't know?
Well, if you want to really set the scene, we turn on the Xbox and we're trying to talk about like, okay, what games do we have? Because we play Fall Guys usually, but like, what else do we have? And I was like, well, this game Stranded Deep's on Game Pass. So I was probably gonna check it out. He goes, what's that? And I'm like, you're like stranded on an island, basically, and you gotta, survive. First part of it, and then try to get off the island. And he goes, all right, let's check this out.
Yep,
check it out.
Yep. So we booted up, right? And actually, Dan said that he was into it because of the Lost.
I did because we're watching Lost.
Yeah, so it's very, very Lost.
Right. Okay. So we booted up. Okay, we get into a co-op room. All right, and we are put into a private plane. Okay, I look over at
everyone's putting this. By the way, anyone who plays this game. That's how it starts. It's not like we got like randomly chosen.
It's not like some people in Coach or something. You know,
you can either pick to be a woman or a man.
That's true. Okay,
and we both chose men. And the man is in a shirt and a tie, and he's got a pinwheel.
Well, he doesn't when you're on the plane. Once the plane crashes into the ocean, and you swim out of it, I hear this. What's that stupid fucking hat on your head? As if I've chosen accessories. And I go, you have the same stupid chosen fucking hat on your head. It's like one of those rainbow colored hats that looks like kind of a beach ball with like the spinner on top.
Spinner on top. And then also just to highlight this game, like how it looks. I look over, like in the game, I look over at Dan, and his guy is like in the chair position, but like straight up. Rigid. His back isn't even touching the back of the seat. My head is apparently not turning when his head is turning.
Okay.
Anyway, crash into the sea. We swim up. We get into a lifeboat. We get to the first island, which is about I don't know how big would you say this island was?
No,
like
it's small, but you get
feet?
This tiny little island that's like maybe 25 steps around the whole thing.
Yeah. and we start crafting,
foraging, and crafting. But the thing is, Tuna had not played the game before that. I at least had booted it up and tried it, like how to do things, so it gave me the tutorial. It just goes like, "Oh, you're playing co-op. You know how to play this."
Yeah.
And so I give Tuna like my small amount of knowledge on how to make some things,
right?
And then so
basically we winged it for an hour, like making stuff, and we were like, okay, it's cool. This is cool. We're running out of materials on this island. Things are like breaking because everything, like once you make something, it has like a durability, so it breaks.
Yeah.
Like
because you're cutting down trees with a knife.
And by cutting down trees, there's a tree in front of you, and you're whacking it, and then it's fallen.
Yeah.
Or it falls, right, or you're stabbing a crab, but
stab.
it just all of a sudden like flips over and dies. Anyway, so we got we did some good stuff. We created we made
shelter.
Some good stuff.
Yeah,
but then
then
I was like, let's try going to one of the other islands, because you can see in the distance the other islands,
right?
And we were not technologically ready for that, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, we were definitely not ready for that.
We leave on the life raft to go row to another island,
which was an ordeal in and of itself, because we couldn't get it off the sandbar.
The raft had been beached, and then it's like, to get it off, how do you do this?
You can drag it.
Instructions, there's nothing.
Oh, right, you guys didn't have the instructions,
and so so I did Google it after a while of us like hitting buttons, and I was like, oh, we just have to hit like L trigger 90 times in a row.
Like holding the left trigger,
and like it goes to jiggle it, and I'm like. So we finally get it in the fucking water.
Yeah.
A couple attempts later, we get in the boat.
Yeah.
And then we took off, and you could tell the rest of the story.
So we're out to sea.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, the raft flips over. And I'm like, Dad, what the fuck? Like, dude, like, what are you doing?
What
like,
happened?
I thought he did something. And then he thought I did something. Yeah. And I'm standing on top of, so we jump on top of the flipped over raft.
Oh, God.
And I see in the water a hammerhead shark. Hammerhead shark. It's circling us. It's major circles. Okay, so this was hilarious. We kept flipping the raft because we couldn't kill the shark.
Yeah,
so
nothing to fight with. Not have. Yeah.
No, we keep flipping the raft over, getting inside, being like, "Get in, get the paddle, row to the
paddle." We get like one paddle in it, back.
One paddle flips over again. Right, we keeps flipping.
Yeah.
At one point, Dad's getting hurt. He's getting eaten by the shark. I'm standing.
I got bit by the shark. I get back in the boat. Like, it kept happening though.
Yeah, it kept happening. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just, of course, I leave everyone behind. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm out. I'm trying to swim to the other island myself.
Wait, so you're abandoning Dad at this point?
Okay. But the thing is, the shark swims to the island, and I'm like, okay, cool. I can get like the boat situated. Only at this point, for no reason in particular, my guy's body refuses to move from that spot. Okay. And I'm not drowning. I'm not floating. My guy's doing this weird flaily thing where like his back is bent like this, like his back is bent backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Tom, you're the only one who hasn't seen it. And I'm flailing my arms like this, and I can't do anything, and it looks ridiculous. I mean, I was like, after a while, I was like, "Well, I'm stuck here in the middle of the ocean. I'm not dying, and this sucks."
The other part that sucks is like you have to eat and drink for sustenance
constantly,
which to me is as soon as that gets introduced into a game.
I mean, that's like every survival game, pretty much.
I get it, but it's boring as fuck.
It's boring as fuck. Like, that to me is so annoying. So at that point, we turned off the game, played a little Fall Guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I guess the goal is to build an airplane eventually.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I mean, if it's like Lost, it's like just like live there,
It has a picture of a plane as far as vehicles, but I don't know if you can build one or what.
It would be cool. What I liked about it is like it is, when I booted it up, other survival games, they drop you in like a world with like limitless things, right? It's just an open world, and this is like you're on an island. There's only so much you can craft and do on this. If you want to expand, you kind of have to move. So I kind of like the fact that it limits you in that way. It makes it a bit more digestible. But I am with you on the fact of like, oh, I gotta remind myself to eat and drink and craft a coconut flask or whatever it is.
Right.
Like, yeah. Cool game.
So, on an sort of related topic of people surviving, what I've been up to the last week is pretty much the same old shit. But in my co-op, things have been going apeshit for like a month and a half now.
In your co-op.
So yeah,
the pettiness of this is
Tuna is
the building co-op.
The pettiness of this is
so I live in an apartment building. It's a co-op, which means the apartments are owned, but there's like, someone owns the actual property and all that shit. So
well, don't you cooperatively own it? Isn't that
but like there's also a company that like owns the whole thing. There's
an overlord.
There's an overlord, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so my mom for years has been on the co-op board. Okay. She's been like, I think like a secretary or something like that. Okay. And
big job.
Yeah. So this past year, they have an election every year. Usually, no big deal. No one gives a shit.
Oh my god, this is like an episode of Seinfeld.
We get like
the
best way to describe this woman is we have like a little like Marjorie.
This
Taylor
woman? Do you mean your mom or
no? This is someone else. This is some other lady.
Overlord. Okay.
This isn't the overlord.
The overlord.
The overlord just owns the property, and like I don't know what they're in charge of officially, but they own probably the land, and then we own the actual apartments.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's my guess. I'm not exactly sure it works, but there's an election, and this little Marjorie Taylor Greene-like character, very, very much in the same annoying way. Only she's like 70.
Okay.
She runs for president, gives out like passes flyers underneath the door for like 2 months, and no one in the building gives a shit. So they're like, "Oh, sure, whatever."
Fuck it. You want the job? Fuck
my vote. Go for it.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, "She's gonna be awful." And so, like, for the last 2.5 months, this lady's been like sending everyone like massive emails, like, "Oh, there's a meeting like twice a week. It's taking like 3 hours." The only thing these groups have to really decide is like, what kind of flowers are we going to plant outside? How many American flags do we need in front of the building? Which, by the way, if you don't live directly on a land border of a country, you don't need a flag in front of your house. If you live in that country, you're a fucking idiot.
This might be the same woman who decided how many flags were outside the school or library. Remember we drove past that recently? There was like 50 American
around the block. That was 40 flags. That was weird. But no. So she basically, this lady got like one of her other friends involved, who and she
gave a Secretary of State,
and so
Vice President,
and
VP.
So they've been like annoying all the other people on the board with these like messages for like months. And I like to the point where my mom was like, can you have Alex take a look at these, like to see if there's any like way we can sue for harassment? And then there wasn't, but it's still annoying. And this is a job that doesn't pay anything. So I'm like, why are you doing this? You don't have to be on the board. It doesn't matter. And so this past week, like there's only like I think 6 or 7 total board members. Her and 3 others resigned. And what they found out.
Wait. This is.
So what they found out from the property manager afterwards is that if there's not enough people on the board gets dissolved.
So what happens then?
So she's like, now there might be a special election, and what the fuck? Why do we need this? And not only that, update from after I spoke to Tuna earlier. Apparently,
you gotta whip the votes. Your mom needed to get whipped.
You gotta whip the votes.
Hold on, they didn't resign properly. So the lady who's like the president is like, you didn't resign properly, so the board can't be dissolved. And so like now my mom and all of her friends have to like look into how to resign properly from a fucking co-op board.
In the bylaws, you have to give written notice.
And I asked her, I was like, who makes these bylaws? She was like, they were made whenever the building went co-op.
Right, whenever the building went co-op, these bylaws were made, which means that some of the people like who made them might not even live there anymore.
Oh, I guarantee that the average age in the building, they're dead. They are long dead.
They're probably
this has been like 30 years. These people were 70 when that was made.
Oh my god.
You gotta move. Incredible. Your only solution is to move at this point.
Yeah, and so
oh my god.
Is incredible.
Yeah, she's like, man. I might need your help blocking an email.
Oh,
like an email address.
Can you have your friend Tuna block an email for me?
Yeah, and apparently the lady again has started like putting flyers under people's doors and shit, trying to like drum up support.
I mean, you know, I think the lesson is at the end of the day, you should have taken it all more seriously, and then maybe this woman wouldn't be in charge because you fucking sucked.
But yeah,
you know what's
oh my god, I gotta come film it.
Film what? One of these meetings? I don't know why. I avoid them.
You can edit it. You can edit it in a way that is as entertaining as the way in which, like, just sitting your mom down explaining, like, I have to like go through the bylaws.
What do they? I was thinking about like I mean, do they really just discuss like flowers and flags? Like, I mean,
like how much they want to pay the super, or like what his contract should say, like every little tiny different thing. And like my mom's like, who cares? It's the super. He's doing a fucking fine job.
Right.
He fixes stuff. He lives on the property.
A slight increase every year. Like just
and like she was like, oh, we need to find a new gardener company because we're paying this one a little too much. And I was curious what the difference was. It's so marginal. It's ridiculous. And it's like, it's who knows what a good gardener is until you have a gardener and you just do the thing. We have like 4 patches of fucking dirt, like, and mostly like a tiny little patch of grass on each side of the building.
That is the
There's
thing.
no gardening to be done.
To paint a picture for the building, it is
the
very
building
traditional apartment building.
So traditional.
Mostly parking lots. There's a little
like a little flower bed
of mulch
in the front
around a little moat, a little mulch moat around the building.
Of grass, like, and there's. Yeah, and apparently there's all sorts of like terribly boring discussions that must go on. My mom's like, those meetings used to be really quick, and now they're 3 hours with this lady.
Oh my god, I cannot wait for an update. This is the equivalent.
Wait, hold on. Let me ask you this: is the woman like, did she just move in and she's new, or is this like new?
She's been here for years too, but she's more emboldened.
This is like newfound power.
She watches,
she's like,
her.
I want in.
She watches the people she can relate to now go into the house and take over. So she feels like she can do the same thing.
She saw a couple episodes of House of Cards and was like,
not even, because I guarantee she doesn't know how to use Netflix. But
that was the other thing you brought up, like your mom asking like, how do I block an email?
Yeah,
I don't think there's any generation besides boomers that will be like, the email on my iPhone isn't working. Like my mom and dad have both said that to me.
We know someone in our generation that does this.
No, well, I'm not. But my mom and my dad have both come to me with the problem. The email on my iPhone isn't working, and I'm like, your generation is the only people who have this problem. Like I don't know. Like, well, besides but most of the time,
why doesn't the greatest generation have this problem? Is it
the greatest? The greatest.
Oh.
That's amazing.
Anyway,
this is your Joan.
It's so petty. It's so petty.
We're gonna get updates about this over time. Dan's gonna have to move. They're gonna have to move.
It's great.
They have to move.
It's so inconsequential. It doesn't even fucking matter.
So on Saturday, we had Brooke's birthday and Zuko's birthday. We package dealed those. I got a beautiful cake, and you know what's so funny? And this
Zuko didn't get any of it.
No, Zuko did not, because it was chocolate chip.
That was rude.
Kind of rude. It's his birthday.
It was halfway. Oh, trust me, he had plenty of treats.
All right.
So this is really the first birthday party I think I've ever thrown anyone. I've either gone to a party, or like if it's someone's if it's a girlfriend's birthday or something, like we'll go out to dinner, or like we'll go but like throwing a party with like, inviting guests and all that stuff, I've actually never done it, because halfway through, I'm like, okay, everything's going great. And I'm like pretty stoned at this point as well, because
maybe don't get stoned when you're throwing a party. Right. Just a heads up for maybe planning for next time.
What?
Well, if you're in charge of things, it's probably not the best idea.
That's not in charge of what? Like, it's not like the office party. It's like just in the lounge of our building. But it was going well. It was a good crowd, having fun. But I mean, I will put it this way: I was standing there and I was like, I don't have a cake. I was like, I don't have a cake. I didn't think about getting a cake. I never even thought about, I need to get a cake. So I made an excuse. There's a ping pong table in our building's lounge, and I made an excuse that we needed more ping pong balls, because we just had the one, and the dogs.
Did you make a cake out of ping pong balls?
No, but I made the excuse to leave, because we have like a little like everything store around the corner, and I was like, I just want to get more ping pong balls so we don't run into a thing store, because people are playing for money.
Convenience store?
and the dogs kept going for the pink because there was like Zuko, and then there was another dog from the building, and then Brooke's sister brought her dog.
You just brushed past this. What do you mean people were playing for money?
Like people betting on.
You have like semi-pro ping pong going on in the,
no,
in the lobby of this building.
Just like someone was like, "Oh, $10. Let's play for money." Like, I'll tell you, I played, and I like played better because like I had money on the line. I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm not dicking around here." Like, $10 is $10.
Did you win?
No, we were neck and neck the whole time, and then when we hit about we hit like 16 all, and then like 5 in a row, he just won.
Did
really
he then
annoyed.
say double or nothing? Question mark?
No.
Oh, okay.
I initially was willing to do 20, but he was the one that was like, no, let's just do 10. Anyway, made an excuse to go round to get out the apartment. We have a bakery, amazing Colombian bakery down the street from us. Got a cake, took a little bit. Beautiful mirror glazed chocolate chip cake. Fantastic. Brought it back. Delicious. Best cake I've had in a very long time. We're packing up. There's like half of the cake left, as there always is after the birthday. We're packing up, bring stuff up to the apartment. Brooke comes in. She's like, "I'm so sorry." And I'm like, "What happened?" She's like, "I dropped the cake." And I go down into the lounge, is like adjacent to like the underground parking garage, and just like in the middle of it on the there's like a paved over like rubber
turns that are weird,
rubber walkway to the lounge. And the cake has fallen, and it would have been okay except for the fact that like the mirror, whatever the mirror glaze was made of, and the texture of the floor, like it was just so sticky, it would not come off. And I just had to like I was like there forever like scrubbing this like chocolate glaze off. But we had a blast. We like, and then I watched The Mummy for the first time afterwards. We came back to the apartment with a couple
Which
of people.
Mummy?
The first, the Brendan Fraser one.
You've never seen that movie before?
No, never seen it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, never seen it.
I've seen it like 30 times.
Well, there you go.
Well, that's you.
I mean, that's insane.
But like, I haven't watched it anywhere close to 30 times. It's not like an American classic.
I enjoy it. Well, I'll tell you this. It felt like they were trying to make Indiana Jones for our generation. And I think for the most part, I don't think it's as good as any of the Indiana Jones, but I think it gets the vibes right.
I think it's fantastic.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, but it's not as good as fucking Raiders of the Lost Ark.
It's better.
Oh, there you go. There's the episode. Which is better, The Mummy or Raiders of the Lost Ark? I had a ton of fun with it.
Nice short title.
I'll tell you this. I did not think I loved the performance from both Rachel Weisz and Brendan Fraser. I did not think they had a ton of chemistry, and I really feel like
I totally thought they had chemistry.
Well, there you go. But at the end, when they have a kiss, I was like, wait, where did this come from? Like, you just kind of... Yeah,
she was into it. She was into him from the start, from when he was like, "Get me out of."
You didn't feel it. Didn't feel it. But I liked it. I liked it a lot. We had a lot of fun. Yeah. I think it's a solid movie.
Are you going to watch the next one?
Yes, 100%. I wanted to watch Mummy Returns immediately after. In fact,
so I will say the
drop off.
No, I think it's fantastic. The third one
too. The third one I know is
the third one is a huge drop off.
Yeah,
I would say.
Okay. Well, I was ready, but everyone, like Austin, he was like passed out on the floor, like sprawled on our floor, like passed out. His friend sitting next to me was like ugly sleeping on the couch. When your mouth is just like, like that. Yeah. So I was like, all right, no more, nothing, absolutely nothing. Jesus Christ. So that have not seen The Mummy Returns yet. And then I was just kind of recovering all day Sunday. So I didn't get around to playing many games, but I did pick up, I wanted to play a ton of Hi-Fi Rush because at the weekend we're playing for Game Pass, Gameclub. Didn't get around to playing a ton, played some more.
I thought you were like really into it because like you were like,
I like it a lot.
To play
I
more.
do. I 100% am and do, and I'm going to play continuing past this, past us talking about it this week. And my plan also was to play it last night, but then a little game called Metroid Prime Remastered shadow dropped yesterday. And I have been waiting years for this because just like the Mummy, this is something that I have not partaken in previously. I've never played.
I too have never played it either.
Oh,
so.
I am excited to. Are you planning? Well, are both of you guys planning to pick it up?
No, I was picked. Yes.
Okay.
I was thinking because it's on the Switch, which is easier for me to play. So
and it's only $40.
I lost my Switch.
It's not.
I
do
not know where my Switch is right now.
That's crazy.
That's insane. I've seen it 30 times.
I saw it 30 times.
So I got to say, I've been waiting on this remaster for a while because it's been rumored for forever. Jumped in, had a lot of high expectations of this game. Not only from, I know Chris loves it. I know a lot of people.
Chris loves it.
I found my Switch.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
It's so I have like a little desk thing with like there's a little under area where I've put like a bunch of paper sometimes when we have for the podcast,
like those fake
a game and
that'll
stuff,
like half an
just
inch
like
thick.
scrap paper and joke paper.
Yeah,
and it's just sitting under those. I didn't really look that hard, honestly.
Clearly,
that is amazing.
But I hadn't seen it in a while.
For listeners,
like, wait a second.
This is why you
probably
gotta
right
watch
down here.
This is why you got to watch the video podcast for audio listeners, because Dan literally didn't get up from his seat. He just kind of was like, I don't know, when my switches looked down, he was like, it's right.
No, I reached underneath and I was like feeling around and I was like, fuck, that's a joystick.
There it is. So you're gonna play Metro Prime. So anyway, a lot of hype going into this. Oft I feel disappointed usually when I play a game that has
a
lot
of build up. This is a lot of build up.
And I gotta say, shame on Nintendo, because it is insane that they have not made another one of these since the Wii generation, because this game is fucking great.
You know what? Okay, I just lied. I have played it. I just only played like a little bit.
Did you play on GameCube or
I played on GameCube?
Okay, yeah.
Played on GameCube. So I think either something else came out, probably, or I don't know.
Yeah,
but like I never finished it. And which is rare for me to not finish a game. But it wasn't because it wasn't good. I think I don't know. Let me ask you this: is the controls? How are the controls? Because it's good. Okay.
Yeah, so they've built control. The default controls are new controls that they built for the Switch, so it plays like you'd expect it to play.
Mm-hmm.
I had heard that the Wii port that had come out forever ago, well, when the Wii was out, had pretty good like motion controls, and there are gyro-based controls in this.
Okay.
I found them not great. You also like with the regular like dual stick playing like you would any other shooter, you can use right trigger to shoot, as you'd imagine.
Right.
When you do gyro controls, it is pressing A.
Look, I'll be honest with you.
Which is
gyro
how it
controls was a cool little experiment. Okay. Right. Skyward Sword, it was fine. Okay. Not needed. Not needed.
Yeah, I tried to mess around with it. You can obviously use a GameCube controller and play it with the original GameCube controllers if you want as well. But no, the basic, I went back to the default dual stick controls, and they've been very good. I mean, this is you can look at comparison videos online. It's a marked improvement visually from the original game, and it plays great. And like, yeah, you can. It's one of those where like I said, I've played a ton of games where I've been like, oh, I can see where a bunch of games I like got their inspiration from this, and I'm not feeling fulfilled by this original experience because so many other games are built upon it. I haven't played a ton of Metroid Prime Remastered, but I'm kind of so impressed that not only has this gone to inspire a bunch of games that I like, but this in many ways feels like still the best version of that kind of 3D Metroid, game. You get dropped on this planet, you've lost all of your abilities, and you just have to kind of explore. Did you play Returnal?
Me?
Yeah.
Returnal.
No. The roguelite.
Yeah, I thought you did.
PlayStation game. You're a woman in a spacesuit on a planet fighting aliens.
So Metroid?
Yes, but it's procedural. So Returnal, it means that every time you boot it up, every time you start a new level, whatever room you go into next is completely new, essentially.
This is a $70 game.
Yeah. PlayStation. PlayStation first party game is $70.
I did not.
Cool game. But this is very impressive. I think it really holds up. There's some annoying things like I mean, the game doesn't have like autosave, right? Because it's meant to be like, oh, if you die, you go back to the last point you saved at. And I had this bit where I'd beaten this really annoying like mini boss. That's a bunch of these flies swarming around, and you can't shoot at them until they stay in one place. And it was just like so fucking annoying. Yeah. And then I had to walk across a rickety bridge over like a pool of lava essentially to get to the next thing. And I slipped off and I died, and I had to like do the whole thing again, which was really frustrating.
Classic.
Yeah, so there's little things here. There's little things here and there, but I'm very surprised with how it holds up, and I'm interested to see how you feel about it with your.
All right, I'll start it. Do we want to talk about?
Yeah, let's talk Hi-Fi Rush before.
All right, I'll let you, because I played a bit of it, not a ton.
Okay,
and I will explain why.
Sure.
I
don't think none of us have finished it.
I don't think I will be finishing it, but go ahead.
Oh, interesting. Well, I'm actually going to. So Chris isn't here, but he did send us some notes on his.
All right,
thoughts.
so let's
go off of Chris's notes, because I think that they'll inspire our thoughts. All right, haven't completed, but will finish because it's pretty sick. Too many fucking games out at once, and I'm an idiot with no self-control. Agreed. You have a little bit.
Which part are you agreeing with?
That I'm a fucking idiot with no self-control. I mean, honestly, all of this, because I'm going to finish it. It is pretty sick, but there are too many fucking games. I'm an idiot with no self-control. Combat gets way more fun once you get the second companion, and especially the third. The unlockable areas from the companions are good in concept, but I don't think they were vital or really all that additive in execution. The companion combat is definitely the real draw. So I have unlocked the second companion. I have not unlocked the third. And I do agree that like all of the like side areas in between missions that you get because when I'm assuming Tuna, you haven't gotten to the second companion. There's like a hideout with the first companion, and then when you get the second companion, there's like a new hideout. All of that side stuff, like I'm just kind of at this point, like probably just going to ignore. But I do agree that like this is a rhythm action game, and like calling in your companions is like a really good part of that. Do you have any thoughts on the companion combat or the combat in general? How are you feeling? Because you're
So what I would say is that there's like with Metroid being out, I really want to play that game. I can really only focus on one game at a time, and I'm going to switch now to Metroid.
Yeah.
With respect to the Hi-Fi Rush combat, in the beginning I was like, oh, this is awesome. I'm really liking this. I like the music, I like the beat, I like the whole thing about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Except after a while it got to be almost
How far did you make it?
I have the companion that can like
shoot the shields.
Yes. So I guess I found it to be tedious, having to do everything with the rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I found it to be like I already had the combos down, and I was just like, all right, like I get it. Like I'm hitting the buttons in line with the rhythm, and I'm watching everything, and I'm doing it. Boom, 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 boom. And I guess I was just like, I'm done. Like I got it.
Yeah.
It was almost like it's a great concept. I get it. I understand why people would love it, and I understand why people would want to keep playing it. It's just not a game for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say that, you know, it not only does it add companions, but it adds abilities beyond where you're at. So it does become more, the combat gets more interesting. I will say, though, I do think that my biggest criticism of it, and maybe Chris says this as well, but I think that it's not a long game, but I think it's too long. I think all of the levels take too long to get through. I think there's too much platforming between combat. I think there's too many combat encounters.
The guy fucking jumps like Sora in fucking Kingdom Hearts.
And I know that one of Chris's complaints is the platforming. The platforming itself is not very great, and there's a lot of it. I just think that if the game was tighter, if it was like half the length, if the levels were half the length, if the combat encounters were half as many, I think actually it would be an even better game. And I know that, you know, it's on Game Pass, right? But, you know, at a $30 price point, even if I think this game is like a 10-hour, 12-hour game once all is said and done, even if it was 5 to 6, I'd almost say there's more value in that, because I'd probably be close to done at this point, and I would be much happier with, I think, the overall package. But yeah, the combat that definitely improves over time. Chris's next note is shockingly one of the funniest video games I've played. Humor is tough in games, but it feels like a Saturday morning cartoon. I completely agree with this sentiment. I think it's really funny. I think that, you know, for all of the complaints that, not complaints people have, but, you know, the game Forspoken that I talked about previously came out. A lot of people were bashing it for the dialogue. It has bad dialogue. I completely agree. I think it's just a poorly written game aside from the dialogue. But people are like, yeah, well, Hi-Fi Rush has bad dialogue too, has like cringy dialogue. And I'm like, well, it's a cartoon. Like, it just blends in. Like, this is its point, is purpose. It's not meant to be this kind of like like otherworldly kind of dramatic piece. And secondly, I think the story is just very interesting. The meta commentary that's going on when you're reading, I don't know if you like read the emails and like listened to some of the stuff, but like
that was the thing. I read some of the emails, and then eventually it just got to be, I was like, fuck it. I wanted to get to the next thing.
Sure.
So, but yeah.
But I think it's a great meta commentary on video game development. So the next level is takes place in this volcano. It's the guy that runs R&D, and he just has no care for how much money he's spending or how hard he's working his people. So there's like this bit where you're walking past a robot, and he's like, and the robot kind of goes, kind of weird that there's 8 days a week. When did we get 4 Mondays? And there's this bit where they're all working. They're trying to like build the stuff he's asking them to build. And one of the robots goes, this is all so much harder because we're all working on this all the time at the same time. There's too many people working on the code all at once. It would be quicker and more efficient if we worked less. So there's that commentary. And then the end of that boss fight is, instead of fighting him, you're creating situations where he spends more money from his budget to try and defeat you. And so instead of like fighting him in combat, the end defeating him is like his budget is reduced to 0 and he's been defunded. And it's so there's like so many great bits. The commentary, I think, on video game development as a whole is really good, and I hope that no one making this had to go through any of this making this game, and it's more a commentary on previous experiences. But yeah, it's all really clever. Biggest drawback is mobility. The platforming and exploration don't add enough for how much it slows down the game at times. Chai's movement speed outside of battle feels sluggish. This makes the platforming kind of fine at best, and at worst it's clunky and not fun. I completely agree with that entire paragraph.
Yeah.
I think if mobility were more like the on rails in between combat areas, it would have been better. The 2D sections worked better than the 3D ones. Maybe more varying areas would have been better. I don't think, other than getting to enjoy the visuals of the world, that the exploration or collecting adds anything positive. If the character could grind like a Jet Set Radio or Sunset Overdrive and move better / faster to the beat, the platforming could have been more fun and intuitive. I agree with all of that as well, I think. Tuna, thoughts on that?
No, agreed. Like it.
Poor at times platforming aside, those areas are often easy enough to not get in the way. However, it was worth noting as it kills some momentum, but not enough to be a big issue. I do think it's enough to see this not win or make it as far in Game of the Year discussions because in those areas had been nailed. The game might be one of the best in 2023. Yeah, I think just like overall, like tightening up the package, this game does way more than you'd expect, and I think like it really works when it comes to the combat, the additions that makes, bringing the new characters. But I do agree that like the areas in between, like getting from combat to combat, like it just takes too long. Some of these levels, like some of the levels, like you do a whole stage. And then instead of switching to the end of the level at the stage or the area, like you do the area again. And that happens multiple times where you kind of return, but now you have new abilities and you go through it. So I thoroughly enjoy it. I totally plan on beating it because I'm over halfway through at this point. But Metroid Prime, baby.
Yeah. What's Chris's pick?
Oh, the next game in Gameclub is he Invisible Inked it. Before we leave.
Okay.
Let me see. Before we leave. Is this on? Oh, it's a city building video game.
All right. Okay. All right.
Set in a cozy corner of the universe.
All right.
Okay, cool. It's like a whole planet kind of thing. Like you have like a mini planet. Looks cool. I like that.
So before we get to what I think is going to be news, right?
You think there's gonna be news?
So before what I believe is going to be news, I forgot to mention I started watching Shrinking.
This is the new Apple TV
Apple
show, right?
TV
With Harrison Ford
and Jason Segel.
There is a great, before we get into this, there is a fantastic profile out from the Hollywood Reporter on Harrison Ford. It is phenomenal. It'll like make you feel better about your day. And it has some great quotes from Harrison Ford, including when the interviewer goes, "Do you think you are someone that wrestles with social anxiety?" Right? Because he kind of is standoffish in moments and stuff. He's like, "I don't have social anxiety. I'm just, I find boring situations fucking abhorrent." Nice. And I'm like, good for you, Harrison. Good for you.
Yeah.
I can see that.
So just really, I guess, just a very quick thing about Shrinking. Have you seen it?
No, but I've heard it's really good.
Really good.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I don't think it's really good.
Oh.
I think it's okay at best.
Okay. Let me see.
I think Harrison Ford shows up for like some one-liners here and there, but I don't really get like the substance of his character at all. And Jason Segel, I feel like, is trying to play his Forgetting Sarah Marshall character, but is not succeeding as a alcoholic, drug addict, widower with a daughter that he's kind of neglecting. And I just don't. And also the woman from the Drew Carey show is on it, and she has had so much work done. She doesn't really look like herself, but she sounds like herself, and it's just really off-putting and weird.
So, I had a total feeling that Harrison Ford was only going to be in it for a couple of minutes at a time, and then he was out. You know, like it was going to be like Harrison Ford is in this show, but he's not really in this show.
Yeah. Speaking of women who also, no, I shouldn't say that, but speaking of people who've had work done that looks not that great, Julia Louis-Dreyfus in You People looked like ridiculous. Like
I watched You People.
She did not look good, man.
She didn't look good, but she's like I mean, I don't.
But
think
that's the thing. Like
ridiculous.
My thing is this. You're in your 60s.
Isn't she like in her 60s?
Yeah, you're in your 60s. You're not going. You're like, I'm sorry.
I don't know if
like,
she had a lot of work done, but she probably was wearing like a fuck ton of makeup.
I don't know.
Try to look younger.
I feel like her mouth wasn't really moving all the way. Also, you people, I don't even know.
It was okay. I didn't.
Apparently,
really
there was
apparently
the kiss. Apparently, the kiss was CGI'd. I mean, that's what the fuck.
What kiss was CGI'd?
The kiss at the wedding apparently was CGI'd.
Why?
I don't know. Someone who was there said they didn't actually kiss, and they CGI'd the kiss. So, I just felt like also in You People, the love story between Jonah Hill and I don't know the actress's name, but in the movie she's called Amira.
Yeah,
their love chemistry was non-existent, and it just felt like
you're judging a movie that went straight to Netflix as if it was a feature film that anyone gave a shit about before it just showed up on Netflix one day.
Well, it was the #1 rated Netflix movie, whether the algorithm is lying to me or not.
It just means it's new.
I mean, so, I think a bunch of people.
There's not a professional panel rating.
No, I think enough people watched it where I can say that I think the love story was just a way to get to each conflicting
of
course.
The whole dynamic was supposed to be like, oh, these parents don't like the other one.
Right. Yeah. But I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. Eddie Murphy, only a year younger than Julia Louis-Dreyfus, looked fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you're the first person to notice that men generally age better than women at that point in their lives.
You mean I'm not the first one to ever come to that conclusion?
So fun fact, I don't know if you know this, but the TV show Shrinking, created by both Jason Segel and Brett Goldstein, aka who's the older football player?
Roy Kent.
Roy Kent. Yeah, the guy that plays Roy Kent.
He was a writer before he was an actor in that.
Yeah, he has a podcast and like he's created a bunch of stuff.
Look, all I'm gonna say is that's Jason Segel trying to play forgetting Sarah Marcia Segel from 10 years ago isn't working for me.
I think it's just most of his roles. I think it's just kind of what he plays.
know, but I just feel like maybe I'm doing ageism again, but he's just getting old, and it's like it's not.
Tuna doesn't like how these actors keep aging. This is bullshit.
Tuna, they're aging. You are also getting old.
Yeah,
I'm aware. I'm aware. You know what's funny? I was thinking the other day. I'm like, oh man, wouldn't it be so like maybe we should do like a city trip and like go out. And then I start thinking to myself like, no, I don't think we can go back to those bars because we're gonna look really, really old.
Hold on, I did that with you. I don't know how many years ago. Probably like close to fucking 7-8 years ago now. And we felt old as fuck at like 27, 28.
Right.
It's not gonna have made it any better.
No.
Yeah, when I go out to like bars and stuff now, I'm totally just like.
I mean, you're on
go
that.
down to like the fucking Lower East Side and be like, let's hit up the same spots and have the same like
experience.
Oh sweet, we're out here. You're gonna be like, ow, my legs hurt. Can we just like sit down for a while?
I can't believe I've spent this much money.
Yeah.
We were generally blackout drunk when we were doing that shit.
Yeah.
So it's not
just look. We'll go back to We'll go back. Going back to Shrinking really quick. In just not all that in a bag of chips. All right.
Okay.
News. Hit us.
Let's hit us with the news.
And then we got like nothing left on this show almost.
Well, we don't
do fucking fortunes. We don't do fucking complaints anymore.
Mail. We got mail.
We do have mail?
Game. Maybe. So news for this week. The Nintendo Direct happened. Got some fun little.
Dan and I didn't watch it, so give us the highlights.
I'm giving you the highlights right now. We got
hold on. Highlights, not every single detail. Highlights.
Right. Highlights.
I'm giving you the highlights.
All right.
I don't know about that. We'll judge
you. Yesterday, when you and Chris rattling off, going nuts.
I was talking about how disappointed I was up until like the last 10 minutes.
I didn't even know when it started. Well, all of a sudden, the text group blew up.
I was at work. I was like, oh shit, was I getting text from work? Nope, you guys again.
Blew up.
We got a Tears of the Kingdom trailer. They reconfirmed that it's still coming out in May. We did not see the Switch OLED that Tuna is hoping is real because he wants to buy it. As I pointed out, they have not talked about what this game is about. how the gameplay works. They have to do that before the game comes out. So I think we're going to get a 20-minute Zelda presentation. We're going to see gameplay. Yeah. They're going to kind of talk about it. They'll announce a Switch then like a month before or something.
I will be honest. I'm very, well, I wouldn't say very, but I'm pretty worried about this, like the Sky Kingdom kind of thing going on. I'm not a big fan of island hopping, especially in the sky. I'm just not like, I feel like it's the traversal. I think it's
the Skyward Sword thing. Like you're getting some like PTSD from that game.
It is, and the traveling in that game was a fucking pain in the ass. So
I don't think it's going. Did you watch the trailer for this?
I did. And I also don't. It also like I don't know, man. This might sound stupid, but I don't like it that they're like incorporating like modernish tech into Zelda. Like when we got the motorcycle,
did they give Link a handgun?
No, but like they gave
Link gets a gun in this
Metal Gear Link
in the last DLC for
you get a motorcycle.
You get a motorcycle. So and then I saw in this game you maybe get a rover. It looked like
it seems like a rover car. You might one of the abilities is like you are creating contraptions.
That's what I mean. Like, are we going steampunk? Because it seemed like they wanted to go that way, maybe a little bit with the ancient tech. Right?
You also have like a drone, basically, that you're like kind
of almost like it was. When I saw that, I was like, ooh, I don't know, man.
Keep it simple.
I'm sure it'll be great.
Keep it simple, stupid. Yeah, you're gonna be like, this is the greatest game I've ever played. I'm
sure it'll be great, but still,
I can't decide between
flops. Skyward Sword for me was a flop. So
this isn't gonna flop. I felt very secure after this trailer. I was like looking at this, I was like, this was great. Dan, what are your thoughts?
I'm curious now that I'm thinking about it. Maybe Tom knows the answer. I don't know if Tuna will. Where did like steampunk start? Because it all of a sudden was a thing. It wasn't the thing for most of my life, and then all of a sudden it was a thing that was happening.
I mean, do you want an actual
steampunk
answer,
style?
Or
I'm just curious where the origins come from.
Why wouldn't he want the actual answer?
Yeah, I would like the actual answer.
I thought he was asking like, what year did it become popular?
Oh no, I'm just curious, like when it started or what started it.
Here we go. Steampunk is influenced by and often adopts the style of the 19th century scientific romances of Jules Verne, H.G. Wells, Mary Shelley, and Edward S. Ellis's The Steam Man of the Prairies.
But like it became like a fashion style at some point that people were wearing. That's what I'm more curious about.
The origins of the term come from the 60s and 70s. The term steampunk originated largely in the 80s as a tongue-in-cheek variant of cyberpunk. Modern steampunk, Japanese.
Like I'm not ripping. I was curious because
art and design. I mean, it seems like it's been like throughout the 1900s, like on various.
Yeah, it seems like it's just been around, and I guess not as prominent as it got.
Okay, here we go. In 2005, Kate Lambert, known as Kato, founded the first steampunk clothing company, Steampunk Couture.
What year's that? 85.
2005.
Oh, 2005.
Mixing Victorian and post-apocalyptic influences. In 2013, IBM predicted, based on an analysis of more than 500,000 public posts on message boards, etc., that steampunk, a subgenre, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, whatever.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's...
Okay.
Yeah.
Early 2000s are kind of...
From like a fashion... Yes, from like a fashion point.
Like, I know the origin... Like, obviously, like, I get that the origins are like simple machines and shit like that, but like...
And yeah, like, obviously, War of the Worlds, like...
Yeah, sci-fi-ish stuff, but
all right. Well, that's one highlight. I mean, the other thing about Tears of the Kingdom, it is going to cost $70.
I'm disappointed. I've been telling Tuna. I wish it would cost. I wish it would just cost $100.
Well, you can spend $100 if you want, Dan, because you can get the Nintendo game voucher, which allows you to pick 2 Nintendo titles, and so you can.
Is that like when I pick 2 at Panera and I get like half a sandwich and half a soup?
Well, no, because you get 2 full games, so you could pick. You could pick this,
but then I'm only spending $50 a game
Pokemon
for $100.
It's $100, yeah.
$100 to get. Okay, all right.
That's not
so
bad,
like if
That's
you wanted to pick up
Pokemon,
if you wanted to pick up Pokemon, it would only be $30. which is nuts to think about because they never discount the game.
In your head, rationalize it as they're both 50 at that point.
No, I would want to rationalize it as one of them is significantly discounted.
One of them
rather
70
than
goes 30. It's the same.
Yeah, I know it's the same, but in my brain that sounds better. Because you think you're getting one up on Nintendo, because as we've talked about, Pokemon games never go down in price. Like Breath of the Wild is being discounted by Nintendo,
honestly,
for like the first time, and it costs $40.
It's not a bad investment opportunity to just use that voucher and just get like multiple Pokemon games, just put them aside for like 20 years.
Well, it's digital only, so it's
like the physical. You're right. They don't sell the actual games anymore.
Yeah, well, they do, but you don't do it through the voucher.
But you can't. You can't.
The voucher is digital only. Yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely going to get the voucher.
The
voucher is, if you're going to get Zelda, you should get the voucher, because there's no way that you're a Zelda fan and then you're not going to get like Pinkman or something else.
Pinkman.
Yeah,
it's Jesse Pinkman.
You're going to get Jesse Pinkman. Yeah, you're going to get Jesse
Pinkman. Jesse Pinkman, the video game.
Yeah.
That's like, I was watching clips from when we played Halo the other night, Dan, and when I said amazing Asian food is what I meant to say, but it's an amazing. Game Boy and Game Boy Advance titles have come to Nintendo Online. So if you have a Nintendo Switch Online membership, you get Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, and if you have the expansion pack, you get Game Boy Advance games. These titles include Tetris, Metroid 2, Wario Land 3, Zelda, Minish Cap, Link's Awakening, Mario Kart Super Circuit, bunch of stuff. I'm sure none of us will play any of these games.
Nope.
But it was exciting that they were on there.
I'm sure.
It was exciting. Metroid Prime Remake, as we mentioned, it's already out digitally. It's coming out physically February 22nd. Like it a lot. Pikmin is coming out July 21 for anyone who likes Pinkman. Sorry, Jesse Pinkman. The game is coming out July 21st for anyone.
How long does that voucher last? Did they say?
Year.
A year
from when you pick it up.
This is Tuna next time this time next year, just sitting there like, fuck, I gotta make a decision now. I should pick one already.
And to also to clarify, you do need to be a Switch Online member to buy a voucher. So as long as you have Switch Online, and you have to be an online member at the time of using the voucher as well. And those are the highlights. Dead Cells getting Castlevania DLC. Looks very cool. Yeah, I would say that that's really the highlights of it. Oh, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. They showed off the next courses. They're adding another brand new course, a Yoshi's Island course, and Birdo is coming to the game as well.
So forget Mario Kart.
Forget Mario Kart 9. Never happening.
Right.
What was the raceway called that Yoshi had in the 64 game?
Yoshi Farm or something?
The one with like the it had like the 6 different ways you could go.
Yeah,
so it's not Yoshi's Farm.
I don't think it was Farm.
It was a farm.
No, it was like Yoshi's it was not Yoshi Farm.
I'll find it. You guys keep going.
I'm looking right now.
Well, I'm
Yoshi Valley, you fuck.
Yoshi Valley.
It wasn't Farm. Out of here.
But there's cows, and it's a farm.
No, there aren't. There's no
you're thinking of Moo Moo Farm. You're thinking of Moo Moo Farm.
No, there's no fucking cow.
You're thinking of Moo Moo.
You're thinking of Moo Moo.
No.
There was one cow out in once you go back around towards the starting line.
Maybe there's a cow,
but you're thinking of Moo Moo Farm.
You're thinking of Moo Moo. Yeah, you're thinking of exactly.
You're thinking of Moo Moo Farm.
You're thinking of Moo Moo.
I might be thinking of Moo Moo Farm, but that's also one that has multiple routes, right?
No. You could go through the jumping gophers or whatever they are, but you generally have one piece of track for that one.
Anyway, yeah, Yoshi Island getting a course, so that's exciting. I mean, I play a ton of Mario Kart with Brooks, so I'm very excited about that. That is that news. Let's see if there's anything else worth talking about. Otherwise, we will move on to other things.
I guess in news related stuff that no one's going to care about, but it's sports related. So I found out that Kevin Durant was getting traded to the Suns last night, and I was able to catch a betting site that hadn't quite updated yet. So I got the Suns to win the championship at plus 1,500 or 15-1, and the odds today are down like under 5-1. So I'm very happy with myself.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Another little bit of tidbit of information. This will be quick. Dragon Age Dreadwolf gameplay leaked over the weekend. It's supposed to be more like the combat in God of War versus being like a tactical pick your ability, play it. It's more like kind of hack and slash with the Dragon Age sprinkled on top. Have either of you played Dragon Age? I'm sure that the God of War negativeness of it might interest you, Tuna.
Well, it did pique my interest when you said that.
Yeah. So there we go. We'll have to see.
But not yet.
So that did leak online for anyone interested. A lot of people, classic Dragon Age fans, are a little bit upset at the idea of that. But in my mind, this game has to be a hit for BioWare because they've had some big old stinkers. They're the people that made Anthem. They made Mass Effect Andromeda. Those were the last two games they put out, and both of them were not great. So they got to get a hit. So I think them trying to maybe make a combat system that is a little bit more broad, appealing to more people, if they can mix it in with the Dragon Age combat, I think it's actually a winning formula. But we shall see how it turns out. All right. We do have a question for the pod. We do have one. Ooh. This is from our friend Narcus. Remember, you can submit your own questions. The easiest way to do so is by joining the Discord. Again, in the show notes, the Discord, it's there. You can subscribe to the Discord subscriptions, become a Spartan if you want. But if not, you can still access it for free, given your questions. You can also email us. We do have our email in the show notes as well. And call us. Give us a ring. Leave a voicemail.
Well, thanks, Narcus. That was very informative.
But here is what Narcus has to say. He says, what's the one game you built up in your head so much that it didn't live up to expectations?
Oh.
I mean,
every Madden every year.
At this point, you've got to have given up the goose on that.
Oh, no,
franchise.
yeah. There's no expectation.
You know what? I would have said for a while, I was like, after GTA 5 came out, right? I was thinking to myself, because it was like GTA 4, and then a couple of years later, it was GTA 5. And I was thinking GTA 6 is going to be a life-changing video game. It is going to be amazing. 10 years later, we don't have a GTA
this September.
6.
It'll be 10 years this September.
We don't have a GTA 6. And it has, my life has changed without it.
See? Boom.
So, right. So now I would say that would have probably been the most hyped for a game I ever would have been, and probably maybe would have been disappointed. Now my expectations for this game are low, if it even is going to exist ever.
Okay. I promise you, I guarantee you they're going to release it because they sold 150 million units of the first one.
Now, will it be complete when it comes out, or is it going to be like the bare
I know,
bones?
right? The online doesn't have the thing.
There's no online. It's only LAN co-op.
I will say, Halo Infinite for me is definitely a big disappointment.
Yeah, no, that's probably the right answer for both of us.
Yeah, that's a pretty big disappointment for me.
Now you're just talking about the fact that the multiplayer, the online has the rollout.
I'm talking about that. I'm also talking about how the campaign was, looking back on it, nothing special. Like nothing, like I can't think of anything during that campaign that I was like, oh, there was one mission that I absolutely loved, that I absolutely
talk about that training area. We really like that.
Yeah, but there's so much you can do with Halo, and to restrict it to just that one area, that one little area on the ring, I think was a mistake. I think like we should have been we should have been going to different areas on the ring. It should have been a bigger, grander game. I just was not anything that I would have envisioned going from Halo 5 to Halo Infinite would have been.
Yeah, it almost feels like it should have been a spin-off almost.
It should have been something like that. Like for me, the two best Halos.
2 and 3. Oh, Reach.
The story on Reach is
Reach
so
is
good.
So good.
The story on Reach is so good. I feel like the music is the best on Reach. Well, no, ODST. I love the music. I love the noir music on ODST.
Yeah,
but yeah. Michael Sheen's done a great job with the music.
He has.
So,
okay, so Halo Infinite for you guys, it's hard. I would say, just for like a recent thing, so we can move on from the question. The game Forspoken, when they first announced that, I was really interested in it because I always found, the world of Final Fantasy games at that point very obtuse. I had tried to get into Final Fantasy, but had found it very difficult. So the idea of there being this game where it's like, oh, we take like someone from our world, we put them in a Final Fantasy like world, and we see it through their eyes. I thought, oh, that's great. It'll kind of ingratiate me into the world easier. It won't feel so obtuse and kind of like at arm's length. And then it kind of just disappointed on numerous fronts. Story, the gameplay for me as well. So that's one that's recently like not even didn't live up to expectations, but like severely underperformed. And my expectations had come down, from its kind of initial reveal. Like the more we saw of the game, I was starting to temper, and it still like was even below that. So that's one for me that was a disappointment. That's it. That's all we've got in the questions for pod. But make sure to join the Discord, drop them in for next week. Good to hear from you. Yeah.
Follow Marcus's instructions and drop those questions in. Just email us, call in, whatever.
Yeah, give us a call. Thanks, Marcus. Tuna, do you have a complaint?
No.
All right. Okay. Now, has anyone made a game? Because if not, I'm gonna do this Pokemon game.
I think that answers your question.
Okay. Great. All right, we're gonna do this then.
So how are we doing? Are you just gonna read the name after describe it, or?
So what I'm gonna do is I'm just trying to find a thing. There's this. It's basically like a generator, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you the Pokemon, and you got to give me your best guess as to what name it is. All right, and we're gonna do first to 5 here.
How will we see these Pokemon?
I'm going to share my screen.
Okay. Oh, that's Ghastly.
Okay, cool. And we're just going to do shout out rules. Okay?
Okay. Guarantee you we're not going to know it.
I mean, it's going to include Gen 1 Pokemon, so...
Oh, do we get half points if we...
Gen 1. Hit me with Gen 1s all day, baby.
If it's an unknown, do I have to know which number unknown it is?
You'll know.
No.
Oh, hit me with an unknown. I'll tell you which one it is. Oh, wait, what the fuck is this?
That's... Oh, there we go. Oh, that's Spearow.
I mean, we're not doing this one.
Oh,
yeah. This was just what it was on.
All right, but I would have gotten the point there, right?
Yeah, you would have gotten it.
All right.
Dan had it first.
Difficulty easy. So hopefully we get these.
Oh boy.
Do you guys see this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it just Spearow for you?
That's yeah.
Okay, great.
That's all I see.
All right, here we go. All right, the next one. Okay, great. Spearow, well done. All right.
Togepedo.
I'm not sure this is translating to the live though.
Oh, is it not? Oh, hang on. Sorry, you're right, Dan.
I checked the YouTube.
Yep. There it is. Sorry. I'm moving it.
Oh, someone's got a couple notifications. All right.
Tom's got notification of the wazoo that he never checks.
Oh, there it is. I don't know.
Togepedo.
No.
Radish. Cabbage. Cabbage patch.
Cabbage.
Patch. Cabbage bulb. Bulba.
Disabulbment. Angry old.
There's no I have no idea.
Angry old flower. All right.
I have no idea.
I believe this one is called Shroomish. Yes.
Oh, we were close.
Bulba.
Is that a weird cat? It's not
Mothra.
Mothra. Motherpy.
Moth.
This is amazing. This is amazing.
Wormfly.
Moth D.
Okay.
Moth.
Dustox.
Bulbasaur.
Dan got it.
Tuna wasn't paying attention.
No, it's Venusaur, you fuck.
No, it's not. It's not
Bulbasaur.
It's not Venusaur.
What?
Oh, fuck.
Ivysaur.
Damn it.
Tuna got it.
Damn it.
Dan, so close. I thought it was Bulbasaur. I mean, it looks. It just has a couple extra bits, but it's not.
Yeah, you're right.
Not Venusaur.
It didn't have the bulb.
Right. Next one. Ivysaur. Well done. Okay, Tuna's got one.
Good call.
Oh, we just did one of these. We did this one recently.
Purple Charlie Brown.
Doofy mustache guy. Golf pants.
I think
Dodo.
Okay, you got neither of you have it. Swallow.
Butt lips.
Swallow.
Ball lips. Blastoise.
Fuck.
Oh, Dan got it.
Definitely Blastoise. I'm not fucking myself over
got
that
it. I'm not fucking around.
1-1. Bellsprout.
Fuck.
Dan got it too.
Ghastly.
Dan got it just a second earlier. All right, 3-1.
I was swallowing.
Do I get extra credit for calling Ghastly before we started this game? Onyx.
I can't. My brain is just like not doing it fast enough.
I can't even name the Gen 1.
I can. It's just not going.
Four? Am I up 3 or 4?
You're at
what is he have? Like a faster connection? What the hell's going on?
No, I'm just quick on the draw with these.
He's much quicker on the draw than me. I can't even get it out of my.
I don't know that one.
There's a fan fucked about a fan fucked. There's a fan
fiction.
Fun fact.
Okay, that's really
fun fact about this one. That's related to the podcast itself.
Lamplefish.
Oh, Dan, I'm gonna tell you, you're kind of close.
Lamp Ninja.
Ninja. Oh, because it's got like a mask.
Yeah.
Lampish.
Lampish.
Lamp man.
Bulbfish. Bluefish. 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish.
Lampicarp.
No fucking idea. Keep going.
Yeah. Lantern.
Oh,
okay, I was close, but I wasn't getting there.
Yeah. Smokey the Bandit.
Super Wheezing.
Super Wheezing. Not even Mega Wheezing.
Blow
we have a thing.
Blowholes. Big mouth.
Exploud.
All right. Oh.
Flurb.
Abner.
Abner. Is that the name of the pig in fucking Hey Arnold?
Yeah.
Sheepish.
Swindle.
Okay. Oh, okay. I do remember doing that one. Would not have gotten
Celebi. No.
Celery.
Isn't it Celebi?
I think it is. Yeah. Well done.
Celebi,
all right. 4-2.
Pincer.
Oh, he got that one.
Tuna got it. Tuna got it.
Jiggly Fett.
Bunny Blue. Bunny Dead. Bunny Button.
Dead.
Bunny Button.
Bunny Dead.
Bunny Button.
Button Do.
Button Do.
Bunny Cross. Cross
Whisma.
Bunny.
Whismer. Okay, we're close.
Stone Ancient Alien.
I don't think we've actually gotten to this one yet.
If we haven't done it yet, then we're not gonna know.
But it's Reg Ice.
We'd never.
It's a legendary.
Yeah, sure. Articuno.
Well done. Oh, is that a tie? I think it's 4-4 now. All right, here we go.
Electabuzz.
Oh, you said it at the same time.
No, that's fucking bullshit. That is such bullshit.
At the same time.
Wait, did you say Electabuzz or Electabuzz?
No, he said Electabuzz.
Okay,
but it came at the same time.
Haunter.
There you go.
Were we still playing?
Yeah. That was the tiebreaker.
Oh, I didn't realize we were still going. So okay.
So
sure, you win.
The grand prize of absolutely fucking nothing.
That's why I'm not gonna fight it later.
Wait, go to the next one. I'll see if we know the next one.
Okay.
Dodo.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're tied again. All right. Well, that's gonna
save it.
That's gonna be it then for the pod. Oh, stop sharing. That's how we do it here. Well, congratulations, Tuna. I can't believe we didn't get. I mean, maybe I shouldn't be shocked, but we didn't get a single Pokemon outside of Gen 1
what are you talking about? We got tons.
Oh no, we
didn't guess any of them correctly.
Celebi.
Oh, you did get Celebi, yes.
I will say, even though they're like the Gen 1s, we had like 20-something years to learn, right?
Yeah.
The other ones we've had 1 week to learn and then forget about them immediately moving forward.
I figured
we have a lot of time with Gen 1. Gen 1, we had a lot of time with them.
I played like 6 different games, including
They're
Gen 1
ingrained
Pokemon.
in my head.
That was good. All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Let us know. Let us know. Write in, join the Discord. If you like what you see, consider becoming a subscriber. Make sure to check out the video pod. That's where you're going to have a lot more fun with that game, I think, than if you're listening to the audio.
I think we do enough visual stuff that it does enhance the show.
Oh, 100%. And it's now free for everyone.
And sometimes take away from the audio show.
Well, we have a much bigger audience on the audio side, so it'd be nice for some of you guys to come on over to the video, listen to it, and watch it. Do both. We know you like us that much. Until next time, everyone, stay unranked.
Go fuck yourself. Just kidding. Suck it.
Suck it.
Just suck it.